What happened to this guy?
Yeah, Martinelli, by the way, it's a young Brazilian. I think everybody should remember that name because an outstanding player. And I'm just old and forget from past.
This guy was a breath of fresh air, a winger who would deliver when needed. But these past few years, this man turned into trash. From beating his opponent in a 1v1 situation to forgetting how to dribble. What happened to Gabriel Martinelli? From being loved by Arsenal fans to all of a sudden being called Didi Nelly. To understand this, we need to take a trip back to 2019, when Arsenal signed a relatively unknown 18-year-old from Itano in Brazil for a mere 6 million. It seemed like a typical money laundering scheme like Chelsea always does, buy to sell. But Martinelli quickly proved to be much more than that. In his debut season, he announced himself in style. Who could forget that iconic goal against Chelsea? I mean, seriously, how could you forget that? Arsenal social media posted every 6 months. Running the length of the pitch and getting past N'Golo Kante like he wasn't even there and coolly slotting it past Kepa. That was the kind of goal that dreams are made of. That cemented Martinelli's place in Arsenal's fans' hearts. Not just a scorer of beautiful goals, Martinelli had an uncanny knack for being in the right place at the right time. Whenever there was a tap-in, header or a volley, he made the finish look easy like a striker would. Fans loved his energy, his hunger and his fearless attitude. In those early days, Martinelli wasn't competing for the minutes. No, he was demanding them. Arsenal had spent 72 million on Nicolas Pepe. The guy's a disgrace right now. But nevertheless, fans were screaming for Martinelli to start instead of Pepe. Pepe was struggling for consistency. Martinelli was all action all the time. In his first season, he ranked up 10 goals in all competition. A phenomenal return for an 18-year-old adjusting to European football. I mean, if you do that nowadays, you're automatically labeled as world class. He had the work ethic of Alexis Sanchez and the flair of an actual Brazilian. Arsenal fans thought they struck gold. Fast forward to the 22 season and Martinelli was living up to the hype. That was his breakout year, where everything seemed to click. He played primarily on the left wing where he formed a devastating partnership with Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. Together they terrorized the Premier League defense with their pace, movement and creativity. Martinelli scored 15 goals, 15 that season. In the league, that was his career best, scoring big goals in crucial games, dazzling runs that left defenders for dead, and performances that earned him plaudits from the fans and pundits alike. Arsenal were building something special under Mikel Arteta, and Martinelli was the heart of it. He was no longer just a young prospect, he was one of Arsenal's key players. If you had gone into a coma that season and woke up in 2024 and the first thing you said was, "Is Martinelli world class?" Just give me a sec here. Yeah, your son is dealing with brain damage, man. What do you mean he's dealing with brain damage? He said Martinelli is world class. No, that can't be right. I'm sorry, I think your son is brain dead. Since that incredible season, Martinelli's performance has been inconsistent at best. Shall I say trash? The player who once left defenders spinning is now struggling to beat them 1v1. People are not questioning if he's actually Brazilian. His decision making in the final third has become equal to a 3-year-old's. Martinelli can't create, he can't get past his defenders 1v1. He doesn't sniff goals anymore like he did when he first came to Arsenal. Why is that? You see, as much as he is the problem, Arteta doesn't help the situation. He doesn't play by his strengths. Under Arteta, Arsenal has become more structured and possession based. While this has been great for the team as a whole, it hasn't suited Martinelli's free-spirited style. He thrives on chaos, on being able to run past defenders and create something off of chaos. In a system that values control and discipline, his natural instincts are restrained. That's like telling P. Diddy not to throw a party. P. Diddy gonna throw a party because that's P. Diddy. Martinelli is not gonna be technical, he gonna be chaos. We all know Arteta is system over freedom, terrorist football. And I feel like Martinelli plays better A, when there's freedom, and B, when it's counter-attacking football. Free space to run into, something Arsenal don't do anymore. In his best season, with Arsenal's attack was run, almost like Klopp's style. Don't think, just attack. Freedom football. That's why Martinelli looked so good that season. But nowadays, that's not the case. The system completely changed from that season. Right now, we're watching paint dry, ladies and gentlemen. The attack looks stale. And the reason why the attack looks stale is the system has changed. Arsenal's new system is slow football, methodical football, almost too predictable for the opponents. They know the ball is going to go to the right side. You might as well call it right side FC. Saka and Odegaard are going to touch the ball more than Martinelli. And Martinelli, when he gets the ball, he's not going to get help from his fullback. His fullback is going to do inverted wall bullshit, and Martinelli has to beat his man 1v1. which is something he has lost. And that's why Martinelli looks so bad, is because he's isolated. Opponents know exactly what's gonna happen. Also, the rise of Trossard hasn't helped Martinelli's case. The Belgium's arrival in January 2023 to add depth to Arsenal's attack meant more competition. Trossard brings creativity, composure, and qualities that Martinelli has struggled to showcase. Now, to be fair, I would rather play Martinelli because Trossard is a mixtape merchant. Alright, he's only there to get his. The only reason why this man is on the pitch is to showcase that he can do it. He doesn't do 1-2 passes. He always has to do over-the-top passes. He always has to shoot from stupid angles. Alright, he's an NBA player. He's trying to get his. While Martinelli has a higher ceiling, and I prefer Martinelli, he plays for the team more. But they're both shit. Tomato, tomato, same shit. But competition has had an impact on Martinelli's game. Football is mentally. Not only physically, but mentally. When you see a man behind you that's performing, you start overthinking stuff. And that's what's happening with Martinelli right now. He's overthinking. He's trying to do too much on the pitch that he ain't capable of doing. Instead of sticking to the basics, he's trying to show that I'm better than Trossard. If this brother thinks Trossard is better than him, he has zero mentality. He has zero mentality and he needs help. But the real question we need to answer is this the end of Gabriel Martinelli's time at Arsenal? And for me, the answer is no. He has very, very much time on his side. He's 23 years old. Alright, he can prove us all wrong. He can prove us that he's an actual Brazilian. He can pull out his Brazilian passport and say, hey, I'm Brazilian. I was just drunk this whole entire time, but I'm back now. But if he doesn't improve, Arsenal need to move on from Gabriel Martinelli. There's very, 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 very many wingers out there that would replace him in a heartbeat. The Gabriel Martinelli right now is replaceable without a shadow of a doubt. I could get a guy off the streets and tell him to play a left wing, and he would do the exact same thing Martinelli is doing right now. But Martinelli, you have time. Alright, focus. What I would tell Martinelli right now if he was watching this video or if I was his coach is, sit down in a room, dark as hell, pull out your phone, and don't do anything shady, alright? Just listen to me. Pull out your phone and watch Mbappe highlights. Study Mbappe highlights. Now, you guys might be thinking that I'm going crazy. You might be thinking, whoa. Gabriel Martinelli, Mbappe, what kind of conclusion did you come up with, you high prick? I see Mbappe and Martinelli. Pause. The reason why I say Mbappe is simply because they both have the same kind of game. Now, I'm not saying Martinelli will ever reach Mbappe level. No. I'm just saying Martinelli has the pace, okay? We all know Mbappe is a pace abuser. He's not the most technical player, alright? He does his 1-2. Mbappe sticks to his strengths. Martinelli has to do what Mbappe does. Be a pace abuser, stick to your strengths, play the 1-2, and be lethal in front of goal. If Martinelli can do those things, he would be one of the best wingers in the Premier League. Right now, I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's overthinking, he's doing too much. Just focus on the basics, and Martinelli, you will be perfect. That's all I got. See ya. Like, subscribe. Goodbye.